scheduled for the planning commission to meet to discuss the Mountain Pen Fire Company next Wednesday, the 17th. Okay, I will be present. I prepared a draft letter for everybody. My understanding, Derek, when you had initially received it, you denied it because it was encroaching on the setback, but I wasn't sure if there were any other variance requests because I had so limited information. In the initial conversation I had was just a pure conversation with Allison, nothing more than that. So I knew it was coming, but I don't know any more than the setback encroachment.
I can speak to that, because I was up at the station when they were discussing some of this.
Okay.
They actually asked me to come up, for the borough, and I said, about the only thing I'm thinking you might have to do, because I wasn't entirely sure exactly where the property line sat and how far back they were going off the back of the building in that area. They said, you're probably going to be encroaching in the setback. It probably won't be that much. And I said, I can't speak for the zoning hearing board, but I don't think that 3 feet, is that small. But that is not the only variance, because all they're doing is adding depth. Because right now, the ladder truck, the new ladder truck, does fit in the existing station, but when it's in there and the garage door's down, you can't walk past the front of the apparatus.
That doesn't fit to me.
Right, it doesn't, you can close the garage door, okay? But they would like the extra depth to allow them to,
Well, yeah, man space.
have space to get around the rig.
So my opinion with this, what I can ascertain is they expanded the building, the bare minimum, to get that path, I'll call it.
Right, well, yes.
And it's only 3 feet, and when you look at the rear yards of everybody, there's vegetation, there's.
There's a tree line that's not gonna be,
And so
since
that's why I
1994.
wrote, that's why I wrote the draft letter saying that, to me, it's not de minimis, but it's really,
It's close.
it's no real negative impact. So when you go through, the zoning hearing doesn't take away from the character of the neighborhood. If they go through all of those, I think it's, to me, nothing's gonna come out of the zoning hearing, I think, negatively.
And they could have gotten a shorter ladder truck, but
No.
they wouldn't have gotten a shorter tractor drawn ladder truck. And the reason they went with a tractor drawn, and it sounds odd to think that a much longer truck is more maneuverable, except a tractor drawn ladder truck, it's basically a tractor trailer, the back end steers. You can get that rig in places a straight truck would never fit.
Plus, the shorter, I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard this, the transmissions for those shorter ladder trucks are failing. They do not last. They do not. They don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you need your ladder truck. I mean, things are not going horizontal, but going aerial. Things are gonna get taller and taller.
Well, it's also for, not just that, but it's also, setback. If you have a taller building that's also set back, sometimes it's the horizontal reach you're looking for.
Exactly.
And the ladder we have, it's a straight ladder, is a complementary piece to Exeter Township Fire Department's tower.
Awesome.
That has the bucket on it. There's advantages and disadvantages, I won't even say disadvantage, but there's capabilities of each type of ladder truck, and if you have both, like City of Reading has 2 tractor drawn ladders in service and a tower.
What's a tower look like?
Tower,
So, like an elevator.
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
got a bucket on the end,
Okay.
a big old bucket.
Well, I witnessed a fire on 5th Street on Sunday when I was at a program for It's a Wonderful Life. And that ladder, it's the one that goes, it's like cascading.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it up there, and we were all looking, there were several around, and it was just, that's how they did their job. Without the ladder truck, they would not have put the fire out. So to me, it was very fascinating, but that's why we have those. So I wrote the draft letter. I don't know if you want me to add any more, but.
I looked at it, when they emailed it, I looked at it, it looked good.
Okay, so do you want me to officially issue it then to the planning commission? So then what I could do is then be present at the planning commission, unless Derek, you have anything else to add as the manager, or the council has anything else to add. But again, I didn't have that paperwork, so it was a guess.
I said, that's the only variance that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really no other variances, because it's basically, all it is an extension
Okay,
to the back of the building to be
Impervious
able to.
coverage.
Yeah, say all their coverage falls under.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What time is the meeting?
7:30?
7:30, and is it the zoning?
This is planning,
Planning, it's planning commission, yeah.
the first step.
They
First
did
step is
this
planning.
for the Andrew Kraut, did I get the last name correct?
Yes,
Adam Kraut.
Adam Kraft with the
It all, Ms. Mayor, it always goes to planning council.
Yes.
and
planning,
then
then,
to zoning.
then the zoning hearing,
Yeah,
you know, if there's a variance.
I thought it was worthwhile, I mean, it's a fire company,
Yeah.
it's worthwhile to support, so.
Anyone object to sending that letter to the planning commission?
Do we have to make a motion on that? Or we just send a letter?
Why don't you just?
I don't think so, because it's.
I don't think so, it's already.
It's,
Well, the
yeah,
planning
it's part of,
commission will
part of
make-
professional, part of professional
But you're
services
okay with
anyway.
it going from draft to?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, and I will be there in attendance for that meeting.
Okay.
I will not forget. Whatever the meeting I was,
Pretty funny.
yeah, I know. Anyway, so that was one thing. The second one, and Derek, I apologize because it was probably during the transition of you and Allison. This was the green light go year 11. I wasn't quite sure if you were fully aware. TPD had sent in the professional services agreement.
That was signed and sent back, so Tom actually forwarded me
Walter,
back.
Tom
Yeah.
Walter did forward you a signed copy.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I don't know if it's been on council's agenda to authorize the submission of the Green Light Go Year 11 grant application. We said
Yeah, we said to move forward with
move
it and
forward,
not.
but it was
We
just
didn't
TPD's,
officially-
like, consulting money to prepare all of the documents.
I guess we
including
authorized
cost
TPD to prepare the documents, but we
Correct.
didn't authorize to.
estimate, application submission. And do you have, 65,000 in your 2020, probably 2027 budget is what it would be. I don't
And
think.
now, we can take that out of liquid fuels.
You could take it out of capital reserve. too.
So there's
Or we
no-
can do that, Or
yes.
take half and half.
Yeah, you could do
There's
that.
no real money now,
We need
except
to
for
amend the
maybe.
agenda to make a motion to move forward.
We'd have to amend the agenda to make a motion to
To-
submit the grant.
To submit the grant.
I move to amend the agenda to also make a motion to
I think the
accept.
motion is to amend the agenda.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Motion to amend the agenda.
Second. Moving to second, amend the agenda, all those in favor, please consent by saying aye. Any nays? Ayes have it, so ordered.
And now the motion is to make.
Proceed with,
submitting the green light
have
vote application.
TPD proceed with the Green Light Go grant application.
We just make the motion.
Yeah, second.
Moving to second, all those in favor, please consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered.
Okay, and what I'll do is I'll work with Derek, there's a portal. TPD is not permitted, I don't know if it's been a while since you've done this. TPD doesn't submit the info, the borough,
Yeah, we have to submit the scoping to
we
PennDOT.
have to submit it. Okay, and there's a process, there's a portal you go into and all that, I don't know if you're familiar enough to do it.
We did that 10 years ago with the first green
Then
light
you and
vote.
I will work again, we'll do it together, get it in there. You attach the whole Excel file that TBD has, because there's the summary page, but then there's all the breakdown pages, so they need all that. And it's a one-page, simple application, and it's pretty straightforward, but it's just, you do it so infrequently, it's like, okay, what did I do last year? What did I do 10 years ago? But it's not hard, it's just tedious and just remembering, but I'll gladly work with you so that it becomes more familiar. And then the next year, hopefully, there's another signal that you wanna go, so keep doing these. But this is the big one for, I'll call it the McDonald's light that needs,
Everything.
structural help. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Get that
So
squared
great.
away.
Other than that, that's all I have, but the big one was, making sure we can go forward with Green Light Go Year 11, because you don't have another public meeting before the due date of January 2nd.
Right.
So unless there's any other questions or information.
There you
And
go.
by the way, we hired Sherry, she's starting,
Coaching our playground leaders.
Coach the
she's
playground.
starting in March.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's starting in March. She has classes, then she'll work in between and officially start in May, full-time when she graduates. So
Nice.
I'm glad that I listened,
for
and I
her.
heard the civil engineer, and she's a local person. I'm thrilled. The wastewater team is excited to bring, new people that want to stay local and that have a degree from Penn State, Berks, again.
Great.
And
That's
we just-
awesome.
So again, I'm glad I was here at
Glad to
the
hear that.
meeting and heard Bob, and I'm like, well, how can you hire Bob? But anyway. So I just wanted to share that, it's awesome news, so.
All right,
Great.
thank you. Mr. Rowland?
I have nothing.
Madam Mayor?
Okay, I really have nothing, but I do have something. So, as far as the police commission meeting, it was canceled for December. But I do want to note that, I will participate, I don't know if anyone else here on the board will, with Shop a Cop.
I'll be there.
It will happen, yeah, Dave will be there, December 16th at Target in Exeter at 6 o'clock. And it's just real nice what our women's club does, and it would be nice maybe for us to show up. And then on the other night, Dave and Susan put some snack baskets
And
together.
Tracy.
And Tracy,
Yeah,
okay.
my sister-in-law.
And tomorrow, Derek and I are gonna deliver them to the police officers of Central Berks Police Department. And we're gonna give them some nice snack baskets to enjoy.
And we picked out a selection of healthy and not so healthy snacks. So guys might be trading back and forth depending on
You
their.
have to put donuts in there.
Funny enough, I said that because they have the Hostess donuts out there.
Yeah.
Susan didn't, you know.
What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, you got it, we do it like donuts.
And I have one more thing. I got some information from the Pennsylvania State Historic Preservation, and you all know I'm into the history. So Derek, I'd like to know if you get a map of our historic sites here in St. Lawrence, if you show it to me. If not, I'd like to get the permission to go in, I guess I'll go to Judy Schrank's office and see if I can get a copy of our map. I was surprised at the township, how historical that is. There were like 2 sites listed, and I just looked at the map and I was like, I know of 202 sites. I'm like, what is this? Nobody ever did it, looked at, it's just almost like it's a register. It identifies the historical sites and buildings that you have here in the borough. It's not a historical registry where you have to follow the regulations.
Right.
This is just for the PA state, just to have our little village registered. So I
So
would like
if people
permission.
were visiting and wanted to look at historic sites, they know where to find
They
it.
would find it on the map and go past it. They couldn't knock on the door. It's not like an open museum, but
Right.
we would be, it's just, we would be registered. So I'd like to know if I could go forward with that.
I don't know why.
See what-
Why not?
Yeah,
They're just paperwork. Like
Yeah, it's-
if I spot a historical building,
There's no cost to the borough.
There's not,
no, you
no.
know.
no, it's just a form you fill out, when it was built, who
to-
owned it, what the story is, who owns it now, and I submit it and they place it on our map.
Go forth and register.
Thank you. Okay. That's all.
Thank you. Finance. It's gonna be time to start looking at the budget.
I said, I'm gonna go through the budget. I'm realizing something for this agenda, I don't think has us adopting the final budget.
Well,
So
sounds like we'll be doing an
amending
amending.
an agenda again.
Yeah.
Amendment, amended.
There's about a dozen motions on here, so I'm not surprised we missed. So if you wanna dive into the budget then, then we'll amend the agenda. So I cleaned up the budget, from what was presented back in November. I kinda added some more stuff to try to make more transparency and flow as far as being able to track where some of the expenses are. So the first sheet you should have is the capital fund, or the capital reserve funds that we have for the general fund. That basically spells out our going forward, the capital purchases we have in the pipeline. You can see the generators on there, building the Borough Public Works garage, installing the heating system here, or at least converting one of the systems over to natural gas. So that basically spells out in the 2026 budget what the expenses will be from capital reserve. That money that you see goes in is directly related to those items, and then that's the money we'll be spending on a capital reserve. At the end of 2026, you'll see we'll have about $140,000 left, and then 2027 upcoming projects that we know for sure are coming, like the Green Light Go grant, which is a 20% match. And then we have a potential replacement of the Parkway Road Bridge, which at this point is estimated for a 5% cost match to the borough. And at this point, the estimation is $26,000 for engineering in 2027, and then the total cost for construction will be $145,000 to the borough sometime between 2029 and 2032.
And this is the one that we're going, doing everything through PennDOT, so all we do is write a check.
Yes, we just pay,
We just
so
write a check.
PennDOT and the county does all the heavy lifting. We
Right.
just pay the money and get a new
Our
bridge.
5%
Yeah.
contribution.
That's
Santa.
It's mine.
Yeah,
now.
Mike's
Now
here.
my keys, it comes up there.
No?
They can pull it in.
That'd be fun.
They're going right by.
They're going up to the tap room.
Is
Yeah,
that
so it is.
It's the camera.
You're out of open cookies.
So that's the first sheet. The second sheet is a similar sheet,
He's on here.
that's
There he is.
just for sewer.
For those of you watching at home, that was Councilmember Mike Fritz, who is Santa for the Exeter Township Fund.
She's gonna
He
wait.
definitely planned that.
They did a nice job, it looks really good.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it
nice.
does.
We were outside, so.
Look at that, police are trying to pull over. Officer Scrooge. Mr. Rhodes.
Second sheet, this is just the sanitary sewer, the general operating fund. We're expecting to pay, if awarded a grant next year, for $43,584, and that's for the small water, small sewer grant. That's a 15% match for a $290,000 project. If that gets awarded, but that has to be placed in the budget if it happens.
Right.
If it doesn't happen, then
No,
it just is there.
It's there. Okay, very good.
And then, next pages will be general fund. I sent you guys an email, the stripped down version of this, which had the bare minimum expenses we should expect to pay. So of course, your ending balance at the end of 2026, at worst case scenario, would be 58,000. That is taking into consideration for the $500,000 increase of taxes. Everything else in here is pretty much the same until you end up into, the wages got mixed around. Of course, I'll say there is a comparison sheet, I guess, in your book. So the one is the one that was submitted by Allison, and then the one that I have suggested, and then there's an alternative that has more revenue sharing from the sewer fund. And that's basically the existing budget for 2026 had capital reserve money being placed into it, but there was no way to track where those expenses were being used. So it was almost basically cash carrying more money into 2026, but not fulfilling any of the duties that we had planned to do. So that's where I kind of decided just to rip the budget all the way down to the bottom and just restart, see what our expenses are versus what our capital contributions going into that budget would be.
The one thing I'm a little concerned about is only carrying over $58,430.
So-
We don't start getting tax revenue until March.
That's one thing me and Bob discussed on the side, was that amount doesn't reflect a great carrying balance at the end of 2026. And this is worst case scenario,
Well-
but we are budgeting basically $60,000 to $70,000 a month in our core expenses with trash and police. So every month we have that bill to pay. So if we end 2026 with 58,000, we have less than a month of cash carry. Now, we do have a $75,000 operating cash reserve, but then that's again just one more month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking back, the $500,000 may not have been enough.
Well,
But this is also worst case scenario, because there are some items in here. For instance, I cannot guarantee, there's a $25,000 budget line item for IT and networking. I don't know what we're gonna spend for that, but it's just there because I don't know what tracer, since we're gonna intend to use that next year, what our actual costs for that will be.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be 25,000. I think we're paying $300 a month right now, so I don't think that'll be much more than that.
I like the alternate, looking at it where, half of this stuff comes from the sewer.
That was an option I had presented to Bob, was trying to basically,
Because we
Sure,
have
Bob.
traditionally done that
yes,
because of the amount of work that gets done for sewer-related issues. The sewer fund should fund some of that.
That's one thing, so,
And please, gentlemen, like, you know, because that then puts our ending balance for 2026 at $90,855.
yes, it's closer to 100.
Yeah, so we're a lot closer to covering the first couple months, and we could use the operating reserve if needed till the tax revenue starts coming in. The one nice thing we have though, is traditionally, the vast majority of borough taxpayers pay their property taxes within the first 3 weeks of the discount period. Like 70 to 80% of them.
Well, a lot of them are the mortgage companies.
Well, and, yeah, the mortgage, but it's also the people that aren't through the mortgage companies, it's coming in,
They always want to get
they're lined up day one of the discount period to come in here and give Susan the money.
no cash.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to think of where I was coming from. So, yeah, that's, because the sewer is a part of the borough, we do operate, you know,
Right, we don't have we dissolve the authority
yeah, it works under the umbrella
of
of
the
this
borough.
council, so.
Right, so that would be my recommendation, would be to go with that, the alternate that Derek has listed here, that we have more of a carryover.
I was gonna say, all you're really doing there, I mean, it's reflected a lot in this budget, but that's just, you're just changing, so for instance, like, Amanda's wages, we pay half out of sewer.
Right,
So everyone's wages, you pay half out of sewer.
right, right.
So the budget, in itself, the expenditures, everything, that's still the same, but you're
Right,
just
but
working.
Right, we're working with part of the sewer budget would also reflect that expense for
That's actually,
administration.
that's one thing I do wanna throw in there, and it's reflected in both the budgets, but originally, the 2026 budget had reflected a $60,000 operating transfer from sewer to general. But I don't think there was an account taken in that we are paying now $61,000 for the debt obligation for this building. And so technically, the sewer should be paying half of that, because this is also, and that was not reflected in upgrading the transfer from the sewer fund to take up that difference in
Well,
obligation.
maybe we should do that too.
Well, that's reflected in there, I
That
did.
is now reflected in that, okay, very good. Comments? Questions?
So that's general fund. Right, we move on to sewer, which reflects all of those expenses that were talked about in general, except for the wages, that stuff, but every other expenditure in there. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of this or not, but PA American was intending on making a rate increase in 2026. They filed the PUC for, I think, a 15% increase. That is now stopped. PUC is going to do an investigation on that. But Bob did some digging and found the rate sheet that the PUC, or PA American had submitted to the PUC, and they did not intend to make any increases to the borough's tariffs. But what happened before was when the PUC started investigating into PA American's rate tariffs, they actually suggested us to get an increase. So that's not guaranteeing, even though it's been stopped, that we won't have that next year. But at this point, PA American's not intending on increasing our tariff.
Right.
Is that both water and sewer?
No, because
Just sewer.
just sewer, there's only a very, like, 3 or 4 PA American water customers. Everything else is Mount Penn Borough Municipal Authority for water. And we have, I think, 3 or 4 customers that go to AVMA for sewer. Everything else is down to the Exeter wastewater treatment plant owned by PA American. So, and we were able to keep that we were a bulk customer
Yes.
for PA American's wastewater treatment plant. So we get a bill from them, or quarterly bills, and then we bill our residents,
Yeah.
so.
So with that said, this budget reflects the same exact wastewater treatment plan or wastewater treatment charges from PA American at this point. I know we discussed increasing sewer use billing next year, which is probably still recommended just because now we are expending more out of sewer for the general fund.
That, and also we want to continue to build up a reserve in the sewer fund to allow for the ongoing maintenance of the system. Okay, you know, the televising of the lines and then slip lining the appropriate.
Yep.
I think we're 2/3 of the way,
About,
about 2/3 of the way through lining the entire system. We've greatly reduced our I&I on our pipes and man waves and all that. So I think we're doing the right thing with the sewer collection system, and we need to continue that moving forward.
say we're investing in our infrastructure.
Well, and you have to invest in the infrastructure. If you don't maintain something, and you can defer maintenance, and you can save yourself money, but the old Fram oil filter ads, you can pay me now or you can pay me later.
So in this budget, had there not been a grant expectation here, you would probably have been operating about a $50,000 deficit for this coming year. So it would be running at that if you took that out, but it's reflecting 105 because of that grant. So that's the sewer. Feel like a piece of
Liquid fuels?
feel like a page got cut off on mine. Liquid fuels is basically the same. I think I got the important page. So next year, the one budget item on here is, other than the biggest player in liquid fuels is streetlight tax, or the street lighting. We take the street lighting and put that in liquid fuels because it's a single line item that we can just reimburse out of liquid fuels. It's expenditure. You can expend it out of liquid fuels, no questions asked by the state. The other thing in there, we have about a $9,000 project. Exeter Township's gonna be paving Beechwood Drive, and they asked preliminarily if we'd be interested in basically paying for material, and then they would just pave the rest of Beechwood Drive to Parkview Road. So I think it's about a 250-foot section, so that's reflected in here.
Yeah, I think that would be a smart move.
Keeps everything together.
Yep.
You don't have a line, it's all one section of road then.
So you can go back again, was it street lights or was it traffic signal power?
We also have that too, that's
Because
far
that's-
less.
That's,
But you can pull all of that out of your,
Yes.
out of your
So,
liquid fuels.
In liquid fuels, we pay for the street lighting, we pay for the traffic signal lighting, and we also pay for the traffic signal maintenance. So all that comes out of liquid fuels. And again, that's all items that's approved by PennDOT to be able to use for liquid fuels.
Yeah. And that, I mean, we may as well, we used to pull all that from the general fund, and it made no sense. Well, part of the problem too was, a while back, we used to do, every year, we used to do a road paving project.
Right.
And we paid out the nose for materials and mobilization because it was such a small project. Once we got into crack sealing projects, and now we have the ongoing maintenance of the roadways, we spend a lot less every year. We are allowed to carry over liquid fuels money. PennDOT doesn't mind that, and then we were able to actually pay the things that we should have been paying out of liquid fuels,
And then 20% is constantly rolled over if you don't spend it for purchase of equipment, food trucks,
Yep.
mowers, all those good things, so. Yeah, you wanna build up that kitty because it helps you.
Yes, it does.
So that's liquid fuels. And then the last two funds are gonna be basically pass-through funds. You have your fire
Fire
and EMS
and
tax. I think fire's first.
Yeah, fire's first.
Fire reflects a 0.2 mil, 0.02 mil
Increase.
increase.
Yeah, as part of the agreement with,
Yeah.
as part of the agreement with the fire companies that serve the borough.
And again, this is just a pass-through fund, basically. I mean, what you see comes in, basically goes back out.
Yeah. Now, also, just to remind everybody, out of the fire tax, besides the money dispersed to the two fire companies that serve the borough, that also covers fire dispatch and fire hydrants.
911.
Yes, the 911, the dispatcher, the fire dispatcher, and the fire hydrants, and same with the EMS covers the EMS dispatch for 911. And the EMS doesn't use fire hydrants, so we don't.
And then if you have the last, I think it's 4 or 5 pages, and I think the printer cut some of these off, but the last one was just basically a comparison of what was presented back in November, if you want to compare the general fund to the one we just talked about now. This is the strip down where you took all the capital stuff out. So that's as bare bottom expenditures as you get.
Nice job.
Yeah.
His presentation.
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to amend the agenda to allow the, motion to adopt the budgets.
Second.
Move to second, amend the agenda to adopt the budgets. All those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. I would also now like to make a motion to adopt the budgets as presented with the general fund being the alternate that's in your binder. That shows the 2026 end cash balance of $90,855. That's where the
Wages are all.
half the wages and benefits come out of from the sewer. And then the other budgets as they were presented.
Second.
Moved and second, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Guys have it, so ordered. Zoning, local code enforcement. Anything?
I don't know if you want to go right into my manager's report. Gotta find that thing.
Here's towards the back,
I'm in the middle, actually.
middle, whatever.
You were before the budget stuff.
Yeah.
There it is.
We had 6 residential zoning permits, 5 got issued, 1 was sent back for more information. 1 commercial zoning permit, which was the fire company, that one was denied, we already discussed that. Someone did come in asking about 500 Parkview Road, that was claiming to be a potential buyer. We basically gave him the memorandum of information for that property and sent him out.
That's the Bill Leach die,
Yes.
in case anyone's not sure about it.
Never gonna be addressed, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if Wolf Dye and Leachfield Bathurst always referring to that property.
Former.
Yeah, former.
The property formerly known as Bill Leach die.
We told them to basically seek professional guidance and,
Yeah.
with that project, because there's too much stuff for us to be able to just say yes or no. He came in originally seeking a roofing permit, so,
Well, okay.
we tried to explain it's a lot further than that, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with him. There was a plan set received for a new construction home, that's on the back burner until all the permits come in.
Where?
Yeah, 30 Bingham Street? It's Hafer Heights subdivision.
Oh, okay.
One of those,
They're gonna build one of them now.
yeah, one of those
Okay.
parcels was sold,
Oh, okay.
so now someone's intending on building a
Oh,
house.
so not the kids, it was.
Excellent.
No, there was, the one property was sold, the one with the stone house that's sitting right on the road.
Yeah.
That whole area, that section was sold off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Very good. All right.
And then codes, that same exact address we discussed earlier, they were actually sent a warning letter for their codes issues there. There was no communication given, so that will move to the next step. Joan has been authorized to move forward with litigation with that property. Now, if council chooses to, we can force that issue, which Mr. Bowman would, I guess, then report back to Joan for, since there seems to be no movement on that. And that's up to council if they wish to proceed that route. Right now, I'm going on the code enforcement side. Joan says there's no issue with us basically hitting it from both sides as a double-pronged tactic. It's just gonna cost lawyer fees and legal fees. I'm not sure if you're familiar, if Joan gave the lowdown on that. So, that's up to council then.
I think we would probably, that could probably wait until the January meetings.
With everybody.
No offense to Mr. Bolin here, but I don't think it's that urgent that we.
It was just something me and
Since
Joe
we're still,
discussed,
yeah,
and I said I'd bring it up at council. Of course, I didn't realize we would only have 4 members here, so.
yeah, and I also think that might be another, a good topic for further discussion. Since we're already working the code enforcement route. Public safety emergency management, nothing to report. Public works, sewer, street, stormwater.
I guess I'll report on that. All the plows got put on the trucks. We got some last Tuesday that turned into a dud. It was more of just a salt and kind of get familiar with the equipment again. We're basically cleaning out our garage at where the old Borough Hall was that we were renting. We're trying to move some of the stuff into our shipping containers that we have at various locations. That's about it as far as I know.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fritz isn't here for the library, and I know he's still on books. Joint comprehensive plan, Mr. Rubenau is ill. Municipal lands, last I checked, they were still there. Recreation, Pam, I do have a very rough sketch on my ideas for part of the playground,
Excellent,
and a kind of a list, I'll share that with you then.
okay.
Planning Commission, next meeting December 17th, here at 135 North Prospect Street at 7:30 PM.
Yes.
Okay, Zoning Hearing Board, I don't believe there's anything.
Was it set yet? Did they set a date yet from it? Were they looking at the calendar?
They haven't submitted the variance,
They haven't
They
submitted
haven't
the
submitted the
official
variance yet.
variance yet.
but they are intending on it.
Yes.
Okay,
So
we
that'll
just
probably be
need to
sometime in
work on it.
January then.
Okay.
All right, general comment, last newsletter has been mailed out, all information we found on Savvy Citizen or the Borough website going forward. Morning starting 2026, trash and recycling will be on Wednesdays. So put it out Tuesday night, not Monday night. All public meetings held at St. Lawrence Borough Municipal Building, 135 North Prospect Street. The January 2026 council meeting will be held on Monday, January 5th, right after the reorganization meeting takes place. For the council members that were re-elected, and Madam Mayor, bring your certificate of election. You need to have that here. Susan will be here as well to swear you in as a notary.
Excuse me, can I go back?
Yes,
Are you holding your reorg and regular meeting
together. Yes, we,
Okay, because I have to find bodies, so it's either my body's here or some other body is
Okay.
here, okay?
Yep.
So, I'm sorry, I
Oh,
thought I heard that.
warm body?
Yes,
Okay.
alive, living,
Okay.
warm.
Looking. I like
It
that.
might be, no, Troy has, oh gosh. It's
Okay.
boroughs and, this is the one boroughs and townships all reorganized, so.
Yes.
if
Well,
no one
we've
can show-
traditionally always done our regular
That's
monthly
what I
meeting
thought, you consolidated.
right after the reorganization meeting.
If not,
Takes 20 minutes if that, and
Right.
we're here, we may as well just,
if not,
Get
for
right in
sure, there will be a report, but I don't
Okay.
think really, what's gonna happen?
yeah, I don't think there's anything real
Nothing
pressing.
Pressing, but I'll make a note if,
Okay.
about attendance if we can. Thank you.
And changes to office hours, the borough office will be closed on December 25th and 26th for the Christmas holiday, and January 1st and 2nd for New Year's. Old business, none. New business, approved wage increases for staff as proposed by the 2026 wage sheet.
That's after executive session.
What's that?
That's after executive session.
Oh,
After
okay,
executive session, at the bottom.
That's at the end.
all right, okay. All unpaid tax bills beginning 2026 will go to tax claim to be collected instead of the borough. So I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion. Second.
So moved and seconded that all unpaid tax bills beginning in 2026 will go to tax claim to be collected instead of the borough. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. Approve the advertisement of the 2026 Council and Planning Commission meeting dates.
Second Thursdays,
Second Thursdays for council, 7:30.
fourth Wednesdays for planning.
Fourth Wednesdays for planning.
They're already in the newsletter,
Yeah.
delivered today.
Oh, now we actually have to advertise it in the newspaper, a little bit, general circulation.
I'll make that an option.
All right?
Second.
Moved and seconded, approve the advertisement of the 2026 Council Planning Commission meeting dates. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered.
Resolution.
Yeah, motion to approve resolution 926, 2025, awarding contract to solid waste and recyclable collection and disposal to Excel Mid-Atlantic LLC.
I have a question. I thought we did that.
I thought we
last week.
we awarded the
No.
contract.
We approved them, but they didn't have the signed contract, so we have to actually have a motion, since they sent the
A
signed
resolution,
contract,
okay.
to approve the contract.
All right. Dotting i's and crossing t's. Well, I'll make the motion to approve resolution 926, 2025.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve motion, or resolution 926, 2025, awarding contract to solid waste and recyclables collection and disposal to Casella Mid-Atlantic LLC. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. We need a resolution, a motion to approve resolution 927, 2025, fixing the tax rate for 2026 at sum of 7.5 mils for general, 0.72 mils for fire, and 0.5 mils for EMS.
Make that motion.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. Resolution, approve resolution 929, 2025, authorizing the appointment of Derek Rhodes and Amanda Musso as deputy tax collectors.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. Need a motion to approve resolution 930-2025, adding Derrick Road to the authorized signers for borough transactions.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and second, all those in favor, consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. Need a motion to approve resolution 931-2025, to reaffirm and authorize signers for all borough banking.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and second, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. And need a motion to approve ordinance 461, levying the real estate tax for the year 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and second, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. And we need a motion to amend the September 2025 treasury report. Expenses report were $13,253.54. Actual expenses were $11,478.04.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and second, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. And we'll also need approval, the motion to approve buying an emergency generator,
Buying and installing.
buying and installing a generator for $17,521.02 from Heater Electric out of Burnville. It will be a next-gen Generac 24 kW generator, a 200 amp automatic transfer switch, and wet cell battery for starting the generator, and to provide all the conduit and wiring,
Just wanna see that.
ground bars, etc.
It's the complete installation.
The generator itself is $8,776.96. Installation's $8,744.06. Mr. Rhodes did acquire 4 bids
Oh,
for the
yeah.
generator. It's in here.
They said there is a matrix, I knew I seen it.
Yeah, there it is. And Keeler was the low bid
I
on
think
that.
Keeler was low bid, Reading Bearing and Drive submitted for a similar, actually the exact same Generac 24 with transfer and installation. Reading Bearing and Drive also submitted for a Briggs and Stratton 24 that was more expensive than the Generac. And then Cummins, when I told them that we had existing quotes, they said they did not wish to quote.
Those are all close, that's a really good bid.
Yeah.
A little story too, originally we had actually been quoted 28 kW generators, but then through further process of elimination with them basically loading out our building for what we needed, they said a 24 would work, but they had asked if we wanted the 28 just for the extra space. But the guy from Reading Drive said the 28s are brand new generators, like they just started making them. And I said, I'm not interested in being the guinea pig.
Yeah.
No, you can recommend.
If you want us to be a beta test site, slash your price by 50%.
Because the guy from Reading and Drive was like, I'm surprised that Keeler had suggested bidding for the 28 because they just were released. And I was like, well,
Either that or you want a 30-year warranty on
Yeah, the only problem is,
Parts
with
and
a backup generator, when you need it, you need it.
This is true.
So,
Very nice.
it. So moved.
moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded to purchase a generator and installation for a total of $17,521.02 from Keeler Electric. All those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. All right, we'll now entertain a motion to enter an executive session to discuss new hire potentials and personnel matters. We may conduct some business afterwards. That remains to be seen.
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session, discuss new hire potentials and personnel matters. All those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, we're in executive session.
I can't.
Do you guys need me for executive session?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so, just wage discussions and just
Yeah,
hiring.
Just wanna make sure.
No, I don't believe so. Roland, thank you for, representing, and Right, we need a motion to approve the wage increases for staff as proposed on the 2026 wage sheet.
I make that motion based on the far right column on our sheet for a total payroll of $244,519.65.
Second. Moved and second, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda.
In order to hire a new staff person.
Moved and second, amend agenda to hire a new staff person, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. Logan Wood.
Okay, I was confused. And what will his title be?
Just Public Works,
Public Works employee.
yeah.
Okay, so I make a motion that we hire Logan Wood to be the new Public Works employee at, get the hourly rate in the motion, Dave.
Yeah,
Okay,
because that was covered under.
okay, all right, so make a motion to hire Logan Wood.
Moved and second, hire Logan Wood for Public Works employee, all those in favor, give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, so ordered. And at this point, one last thing, under general comments. PA State Association of Boroughs. Does anyone want their own copy of the Borough News subscription?
No.
We do get a copy here at Borough, you're more than welcome to
Yeah.
peruse it. Okay? And at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moving to second to adjourn, all those in favor, consent by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it, so ordered. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.